What's going on, everybody? Teddy Baldassarre from TeddyBaldassarre.com. Today we're looking at a classic here with the Junghans Max Bill Automatic. So if you do want more details on this watch, link in the description, and also where to purchase on my website, TeddyBaldassarre.com. Full factory warranty with any purchase of any Junghans watch. So if you do want more details, links in the description, as well as a promo code to get a free strap with your purchase. But guys, let's take a closer look at this watch. First, looking at a rundown of the specs, we have a case size of 38 millimeters, thickness of 10.4 millimeters, lug width of 20 millimeters, lug to lug of 40 millimeters, water resistance of 30 meters, movement is an automatic ETA 2824, crystal is plexiglass, but we also offer sapphire retrofitting, so just reach out to us at checkout and we can help give a cost associated with doing that install and then also getting the crystal. And then price here, looking at $1,045, but in addition to that, if you are interested in this watch, you're a first-time customer, please use promo code FIRSTORDER at checkout. You can get a discount off this watch as well as other select brands on the site, so definitely go check that out. Now, since launching my website, the best-selling watches have been the Max Bill of every variation, whether the chronoscope or just the traditional Max Bill automatics. And I think that is for good reason, as it's no secret that I'm a big fan of the design, and I think my coverage and admiration of this design formula since the first video that I ever posted on YouTube years ago has really led to this being a good fit, but also I think is such a unique design for those that it resonates with, as I don't think there's a better watch out there for $1,000 if you are looking in this design direction. The version that we have here today is just a classic mid-20th century Bauhaus-inspired watch, and is easily one of my favorite watches that Junghans makes. This Max Bill Automatic comes in that classic Max Bill case size of 38 millimeters in diameter and a compact lug-to-lug of 40 millimeters, with the help of its short lugs that really tuck to the case, making this a very nice wear for kind of that under-the-radar dress watch that also could be worn very casually. The case wears thin to the wrist. It has that kind of substantial dome though as well with that plexiglass crystal, and I think really just comes together at 10.4 millimeters to have some great wear. And just one thing I like to always mention when looking at Max Bill pieces, this 38 millimeters, it's kind of a bit deceiving. Yes, across the board in terms of the sizing, this is a pretty small watch, but when you factor in the fact there's no bezel on this thing for the most part, it's pretty much all dial, you have that dome crystal, and just the way that the dial and that crystal plates together, it does offer way more presence than maybe you would anticipate with those typical dimensions and sizes. So everything I said about just a casual dress watch, just being able to kind of be worn in a lot of different scenarios, I mean, you can't beat this thing around like crazy, but there's just a lot of instances where this watch can be paired well with a lot of outfits, as well as a variety of different wrists. Taking a closer look at the dial surface, we have the typical mastery of lines and space that's to be expected from Junghans pieces, especially with the Max Bill collection. The dial comes in a silver color that transitions to a white under certain lighting conditions, so if it's really in natural daylight, this thing's going to really look like a true white. The curved out portion of the outer dial really kind of pulls in the actual wearer to kind of make this dial, when paired with that crystal, appear like it's actually popping out at you and makes it easy to read the time at a quick glance. Along the outside, we have a simple minute track printed on the dial in large but slim markers denoting the hours. At the center, we have the watch featuring a pencil-style handset containing superluminova within to match the small lume plots on the dial at each of the quarter markings. Apart from this, there really is not much going on here. You have the brand's logo at the 12, but to me, this is minimalism in action. And I think minimalism to me is not just having less for the sake of having less, but instead understanding the power of having less can hold in just improving function. And in this case, we are assisted with that, and you'll never really have any problem reading the time and always knowing where the eyes should go. Now, flipping this watch over, we have a polished case back housing the ETA 2824-2 within. So this reliable Swiss automatic movement doesn't really need to be explained much further. Just it's a workhorse. It's an adjective that I think always just gets paired with this movement, and I think it's for good reason. The serviceability is way more affordable compared to a lot of in-house variants, and this is falling in a price range where this ETA makes a ton of sense. Also, regulation is easier to do, and again, reliability. I think that's an important thing when looking at a movement, and this one provides all of that. It's going to be operating at 4 Hz, 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's going to feature hacking, so you can stop that second hand when pulling out the crown to the farthest position. Also feature hand winding as well. Has a 38-hour power reserve, and out of the box spec for these, plus or minus 12 seconds a day to plus or minus 30 seconds a day. But this one, and what you'll find for most Junghans pieces, are going to be probably running within that even lower tier in terms of the regulation. Now, just to unpack here, I think there's a few things to consider when looking at a Max Bill. if you're looking at a watch in terms of this styling, I don't necessarily think there's a better place to go for $1,000. I think it is that kind of stepping stone into this world of minimalist Baja style design. I hear so many people talking about Nomos or this, and I think this is kind of that great entry door. And they're also very different. I see Nomos as being more avant-garde. I see the Max Bill as being a little bit more mid-20th century in its overall approach, and there really is nothing else like it. In terms of the things to consider, yes, you have plexiglass crystal on here that can be upgraded, so you can just request that at checkout, and we can do that. We'll just give you the estimated cost based on the actual watch that you're doing it for. But even then, I think it just all comes down to intention. If this is going to be a watch that you are just going to wear casually, also wearing it in dressy scenarios, you're not going to be banging around your watches too much, I think that kind of charm that comes with the plexiglass is there. And also, you have that opportunity to change it if you wanted to. We also have different variants that have a sapphire crystal as well on the site. The things that I like, I think it just, again, what really gravitated me towards Junghans when I purchased one, and it was very spontaneous. I just love to look at it. I remember the Friday afternoon I bought my Max Bill chronoscope. I just said, I need to have that thing. That thing's amazing. I love the look of it. And I think a lot of that is really, of course, owed to this design and that original Max Bill design. You're getting that great reliability with the serviceable movement. And then also, I think you're getting a unique but very wearable case experience with this watch. The dial, how it works with the crystal, you're getting a 38mm case, which appears small on the surface, especially when factoring that lug-to-lug, but it comes together to kind of create something that's really unlike anything else in the watch marketplace, just because it's all dial, it's all about the design, and I think that's what makes this watch so appealing, and that's why I ultimately love it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because I'm going to be posting way more content on this channel. Also, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about this piece, I'll have a link in the description with more details on the product page of my website. And also don't forget to use that promo code down below to get a free strap with your purchase. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.